Welcome back. This is the October 18th, 2022 meeting of the Hauppauge Union Free School District Board of Education. Number 3 on the agenda is pledge to the flag, and tonight we have a flag ceremony from Brentwood's Daisy Troop 560.
I'm not sure.
Last year they were like,
They're gonna do fantastic.
Good, ladies. We'll face the flag right here from your mark. And he's gonna start us out.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice work, girls. Bye. Bye.
Great job, Daisy Troop 560. Number 4 on the agenda is the superintendent's update, Dr. Berkey.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barchet. That was awesome. So just a couple of updates for the community. First off, Brookhaven National Lab Science Fair winners. BNL Science Fair winners recognized by the Suffolk County Legislature. On Tuesday, October 11th, Violet Radonis from Pines Elementary School and Taran Satish Kumar from Bretton Woods were recognized by the Suffolk County Legislature for winning first place at the Brookhaven National Lab Elementary Science Fair for grades 1 and 2, respectively. Both students received an official proclamation, and Dr. Weinkmuller was in attendance for that. So congratulations to those students. Secondly, I'm actually gonna, just if you bear with me for a moment, I have something to share from Coach Kalesa regarding Kicks for Cancer. So it's the 15th annual Kicks for Cancer in memory of Courtney Tompkin. Huge crowd on a beautiful night watched as our boys soccer team tied a strong East Islip team 2-2, and the girls varsity soccer team defeated Wyandanch 6-0 before being treated to a phenomenal post-game fireworks show. Money raised from the event will be donated to various organizations to benefit cancer research. I want to thank Coach Kalesa, who always does an unbelievable job in coordinating not only Kicks for Cancer, but other events throughout Suffolk County. Throughout its existence, Kicks for Cancer, ready for this, has raised over $450,000 in Hauppauge alone and over $700,000 countywide. Incredible. And Coach Kalesa and the Hauppauge soccer program wanted to share with the board and the community. They're beyond grateful for the support everyone has shown for this event over the years. It's just an incredible showing each year. So thank you. And then lastly, I just wanted to share with the board, you don't always like this spotlight, but this is Board Appreciation Week. And as we are always reminded, it is a selfless job. The amount of time and effort that the board members put in is certainly appreciated by cabinet and all employees of the community, of the district and the community. In appreciation for all of you, myself, the cabinet, we have made a donation to Wounded Warrior program for $150 in your names. So thank you so much for your efforts. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I have, this is just handed to me by Mr. Scarito. This was in Newsday. Hauppauge High School standout Giovanna Salvaggio was mentioned here. finding inspiration in media. So growing up watching movies and hearing stories with a fairy tale ending has inspired me to create magic in my own life by capturing the true essence of the wonderful things that surround me every day, says Giovanna. She received an award from Senator Week for a Juneteenth essay contest sponsored by the Senator's office. The Hauppauge native was also honored by the Longhouse Reserve in East Hampton, placing in the top 3 of its art exhibition. Her artwork has also been featured in the Suffolk County Community College art exhibit. She plans on to attend a 4-year university in Florida, undecided on a major, but after college she hopes to travel the places she has only seen in photographs and would like to also scuba dive. So congratulations to Giovanna. Thank you, Mr. Scudo.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. Number 5 on the agenda, recognition and awards. There are none today. 5B, presentations, middle school principal, Christine O'Connor.
Yeah, and tonight we actually have Mr. Colin here for Mrs. O'Connor. Mr. Colin?
Turn this on. I don't necessarily need the mic.
Well, for the people at home, Mr. Colin, it's probably better you're amplified.
How's that? Green light.
It's got the magic touch.
So before you begin, just the context in which Mr. Colin and Mr. Whitehorse are here today. A couple of years ago, at the beginning of COVID, we had the principals come down at the beginning of the year and take turns presenting how the schools were dealing with reopening under COVID and spacing issues and social distancing and all that. We've decided as a board with administration to continue that type of reporting just so everyone gets the feel of how the school year is beginning, how it's opening, and what's going on in the buildings in the first month or so. So, Mr. Colin, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you.
The floor is yours.
I thought I heard that the elementary schools all got new playgrounds, so I thought that's why I was here to ask for a new playground. So I'm assuming that that's on order.
Take the opportunity. Let's
The
work.
opportunity every chance you get. Yes, thank you for allowing me to address you about the start of the middle school year. It has been absolutely wonderful, and it's amazing after all the restrictions that you've been under for so very long. When you don't have those restrictions, it's like just a blank page in which you can write upon, and it's wonderful. But not to take up too much of your time, I just want to highlight a couple of things that's been going on at the middle school. It's an electric place. It's a wonderful place. It was seeing the kids change from class to class, use their lockers, have a hard time opening their lockers, kicking their lockers, punching their lockers. It's wonderful to see that frustration because they actually get to use their lockers and be out in the hallways. So that's a welcomed frustration for all of us. The first week of September, right out of the gate, we started with our grade level assemblies, grade 6, grade 7, and grade 8, all in this, each grade individually in the auditorium, which is something that we hadn't been able to practice, and we were super excited for us to be able to do that, to get everybody in for an assembly. And part of the children's education here at Hauppauge, especially in the middle school, is learning how to be an audience. Learning how to be respectful, learning how to raise your hand and ask a question. And those things we haven't been able to do in the past because of COVID, but now we're certainly able to do that. And we look for those opportunities in which to do that. Our advisory model has changed a little bit. We used to start our day with advisory, or what we used to call homeroom, 30 some odd years ago. And in this advisory, we have moved it from the beginning of the day till after third period, which has been a wonderful, a very welcomed change. What we were seeing happening was that because advisory was starting in the beginning of the day, that was, quote unquote, allowing children to kind of show up late to school and miss advisory because it didn't count, so to speak. Since we've moved it to third period, we've seen, our attendance numbers and our children arriving late to school decrease, which is certainly welcomed. The advisory model also, if we're taking some things that were beneficial from COVID, we're taking things such as pushing videos out during advisory. Melissa McParland, in particular, our school librarian, has created Mindful Mondays and Kind Wednesdays, and there's usually 2 to 3 videos per week coming from her kindness committee to present at the during advisory. It's also an opportunity for myself and Mrs. O'Connor to push videos out. Who doesn't want to start their day with a message from me? Trying to enter a little bit of levity, but I'll just blast through it. So the videos that I have created videos for fire drills, I've created videos for lockdown drills, I've created videos for spotlight presentations, which I'll talk about in a minute, and they're just brief, quick hitters that I can get out to the entire school in less than 4 minutes. And we try to, spruce it up a little bit and make it as fun as possible. But as I was saying with Spotlight was a program that we used to run before COVID, where it was an opportunity for teachers to recognize students during a lunch period based on certain character traits. Each month would be dedicated to certain character traits like integrity, honesty, and persistence, for example. Those students for the month of September who met those character traits would be recognized during their lunch period at Spotlight. Since coming back from COVID, we thought that we'd change things just a little bit, and what we have done is we have taken the social emotional platform, Choose Love, which the district has adopted, with their 4 character traits, their 4 pillars, which are courage, gratitude, forgiveness, and compassion. And we're using those 4 pillars every month to spotlight students. September Spotlight had 17 students who were recognized. October Spotlight, which is due to air on the 28th of October, is going to be recognizing 24 students. And this is all going to be done during advisory and in the library lab, where the librarians have garnered a lot of new technology with green screens and cameras and teleprompters. It's really pretty powerful stuff that we're able to create right in the library lab and then push right out for the entire school building to see. So those videos are getting better as we are getting more comfortable with the equipment. So hopefully you'll be able to see some of those. Our guidance counselors have been pushing into the classrooms. Our grade 6 guidance counselor, Mr. Clark, has pushed into all of the classes to speak to the 6th graders about the reality ride. For November, he will be focusing on organizational skills, doing things with the portal and calendar, teaching students how to use those most effectively. Our grade 7 and 8 counselors, Ms. Lynch and Mrs. Olivero, will be highlighting organizational skills, teaching the students portal and calendar aspects to make them more efficient in their schoolwork and in their organization. We've made an effort to push our social workers into every PE class. So every student in the building knows who the social workers are. Just another attempt in order to make sure students realize all the resources that are available to them. We have the ESS program, which is off and running, and we have 10 slots for students who may need extensive services through the ESS program. We have scheduled on the calendar the anti-bullying presentations by LICAB, the Long Island Coalition for Anti-Bullying. Grade 6 will be November 1st, grade 7 November 2nd, and grade 8 will be November 3rd, and that is all going to be pullouts from English classes. All of our athletic clubs, intramurals are running. They're announced daily and posted on the website. We've already seen a lot of spirit in the school hallways with several spirit days that we have hosted, and we've also participated in conjunction with the other schools in the district. Other than that, I think we are off to a wonderful start. I would like to say that every time there is a need that we see at the middle school, and we bring forward to the superintendent, district office, as well as the school board, if there's any way that you can make a connection how it's going to make a kid's life better, it always seems to happen, and for that we're eternally grateful. And if you have any questions, I'm easily found on TikTok. Follow and like.
Hang on for a second, Mr. Colon, if you don't mind. Does the board have any questions, Mr. Colon? Anyone in attendance have any questions for Mr. Colon? Thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
the time to come tonight, and as usual, great job.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Whitehorse, welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Collin, as always, you're a tough act to follow. I'll do my best. So I just want to thank everyone here at the board, central office, for inviting me here tonight to be able to talk a little bit about the high school and brag a little bit about all the great things we have going on. Thank you, as always, as Mr. Collin said, for all the support. Really, whatever we have needed, when we've asked for it and it makes a difference in the lives of kids, we've been able to get it with your support, so thank you. And thank you to the central office team as well, for always being there to answer my questions and helping me navigate through all the challenges being a principal entails. This is kind of like my 1-year anniversary, I think exactly to the date. So thank you again. Got through year 1, so thank you always for your support. So at the high school specifically, we have celebrated kind of our quote unquote return to normal as best as we can. The energy in the building has never been higher. This is my 6th year in Hauppauge, and it's a different place. With the students and the staff, everyone is so happy to be in regular classrooms, to not have to worry about 6-foot distance and wear masks and worry about desks in the commons. Students are able to sit together, eat lunch together, go outside. We even have TVs in the commons now that display our announcements, and we can post pictures and celebrate students, so that's been a great change, and it's really changed our atmosphere downstairs. So what I thought would be helpful is to kind of break down, I can't believe we're in week 8 of school already, to kind of break down what we've done week by week, and it's only week 8. So it seems like we've been in school for so long, but it's also been such a short amount of time. So right before school, what we were able to do, our fall sports began right on time, and really, if you think about it, it's the first time in 3 years that we started normal. In 2.5 years, students have not been in a quote-unquote normal setting. So our fall sports began. We had band camp, which was huge. Our students loved that. We had a lot of improvements made to the building. For example, we now have a school psychologist suite. We have a few other things I'll talk about as well. If you walk through the high school, you know where you're going now. We got new signage, so you can actually tell when you're in a departmental wing, you know if you're walking to the 250s or the 210s, which are somehow connected. The numbers don't make sense, but now there's at least signs to show you where to go. Those are just some of the small improvements we've made. We had freshman orientation with the whole freshman class for the first time since 2019 as well. We didn't have to do it in parts to keep them spaced. Then school started, it kicked right off. Our chamber choir, as traditional, opened up for Superintendent's Conference Day, and they did a wonderful job. There were some dance moves that day too that we'll talk about another time. Our building administration and our PTSA, we all worked together to celebrate our staff with some welcome back celebrations. So our staff was happy and welcomed back, and they felt like they really are loved and welcomed back. And then again, students went into classes with a sense of normalcy for the first time, really since March 2020. Not worrying about spacing, students sitting together. We even have new desks in a lot of classrooms where we can move furniture together and students can group together, so that's really been amazing to see. Our second week, we held our code of conduct assemblies with the whole student body, which was great to do because we're able to set our expectations and make sure students know what we want and expect of them. But we were also able to do a lot of other things. We commemorated 9/11 that week as a school. We were able to do a lot of things. We did a moment of silence as we passed at the time same time that Tower 2 fell. A really powerful moment. We were able to recognize all that fell that day. In our third week, we had senior night. Thank you to Mr. Campanelli for facilitating that with the counselors. We were able to help a lot of people with their college applications. We also announced 3 National Merit semifinalists that week. We had Ryan Capisi, Kirtana Madeira, and Dharmak Namaneni, all 3 of which were National Merit semifinalists, which is an amazing number. And we also have 6 students with commendations. They don't know it yet, but they're going to know soon. So that's an amazing number, and it couldn't have happened without the support of being able to offer so many college entrance exams. We also began Spirit Week the following week. There were a lot of new and interesting ideas this year, but the participation was never higher between the students and the staff, and it was really fun to watch. We had Adam Sandler Day, which was very entertaining. I got to carry around a golf club and be Happy Gilmore for the day. We had some that I was a little bit skeptical about, but worked out well, like White Lies Day. I'm not going to take full credit for this, but the concept of white lies is you write something on a t-shirt that's not true. So I wrote "The Jets are good" on my t-shirt, and I'm a Jets fan, so I'm allowed to do that. But since that day, they are 3-0.
It's true.
They are. At the time, they were 1-2. They are 3-0 since that shirt, so I have not washed it, and I will not. The following week, we continued Spirit Week. As you know, we've had a lot of short weeks. We had open school night for the first time, really since 2019, with a great turnout. Our teachers were able to welcome in parents and talk about the curriculum. We had actually Scarlett Lewis, Mr. Cullen mentioned the Choose Love movement as an SEL program. Scarlett Lewis actually met virtually with our students, about 60 or so students, for an assembly to work on at the high school what we're doing with those 4 pillars. And it was amazing to watch them work together and actually pick out the key traits that would make a student that embodies those pillars. We had Spirit Night outside on the football field, another great turnout. And then, unfortunately, the weather didn't work out for us to have the parade, but homecoming did happen, and we had a huge win over East Hampton, which was amazing to watch. It was a great game, and it actually ended up being fairly decent weather. We had a great turnout. It didn't rain too much. We were able to enjoy the game, tons of people and vendors, and it was really still a great celebration. And for the first time ever before that game, we were able to, with the board and central office support, and Mrs. Ferrara, who's one of our assistant principals, host a recognition ceremony for military, first responders, policemen, and firemen. We had people from all over the community and in other organizations show up, and we were able to honor them on midfield with Dr. Murphy leading as the MC for that. So that was amazing to see, and hopefully something we can continue to do. Following week, kept on rolling. We had our first PTSA meeting with a similar turnout. We were able to talk about a lot of issues between parents and me. We were able to host a lot of fundraisers leading up to Kicks for Cancer. We had Dig Pig for the volleyball teams. We also held a varsity volleyball invitational to benefit Team Mackenzie and Angela's house, which was an amazing turnout as well. And then the following week, a lot of things happened. We, as has become tradition, we had the whole school take the PSAT or the SAT. In the 9th grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade together, we had over 70% of our students take the PSAT, which is, you know, when I talk about having 3 National Merit semifinalists and 6 with commendations, this is why. We prepare our students for 3 years to take the PSAT. We also had 12th graders taking the SAT that day, and we were able to offer Common App workshops. So the whole school was really in the college mindset that week. We had Kicks for Cancer Friday. We did, as you know, was mentioned earlier, we tied with East Islip for the boys game, but the girls won over Wyandanch, and the fireworks ceremony was incredible. It was an amazing celebration, and I don't have any tangible numbers to prove this, but I don't think I've ever seen that many people at Kicks for Cancer. So it was amazing to have the whole community there. And this week, we had the college fair. Thank you, Mr. Campanelli, again, for putting that together. We also held the ACT today for 40-plus seniors. And again, I just want to mention, thank you for the board's support to pay for those exams, because that's really why we're able to do it. So many students are able to take advantage of it. The fact that it's during the school day, too. We get so many students that are taking exams that they otherwise might not have taken. and maybe getting to colleges they otherwise might not have. So we also have the upcoming drama production this weekend that students have worked so hard on this year. So, before I kind of close out, I just want to say again, thank you to just my team of assistant principals, our teachers, our counselors, social workers, our security, our custodians, our food services, and all staff for all the incredible work that goes into making all of these things happen. Now, before I close out one more time, just a couple things that are new in the high school. Mr. Cullen mentioned the ESS program at the middle school. We're in year 2 of that at the high school. And one thing that we fought hard with and worked hard with Mrs. Bilski and the whole team was bringing in the therapeutic classroom, which if you ever come to the high school and get a chance to see, it's really incredible. We have a classroom that really helps the needs of our highest needs students. And we have teachers, several teachers dedicated to providing an education to those students who might otherwise not be in the district. It's amazing to watch and amazing to see the support that they get. Again, I talked about the better signage and the building functionality. We moved a few things around. The nurses back to the main entrance area. You'll notice when you walk in, now you have security, the nurse, you have attendants now, and our assistant principals all directly accessible, so that you don't really have to go far if you ever need something for a student or for a parent. So we did that intentionally. And just overall, again, things are going great at Hauppauge High School. The energy is incredible, and I really think we're on an upward trajectory, and more great things to happen. So thank you again for your time, and thank you for inviting me to talk about the high school a little bit.
Thank you. Any questions from the board for Mr. Whitehorse? Any questions from the community? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
That concludes our presentations. 5C is the adoption of minutes of the business meeting September 20th, 2022. I have a motion. Thank you, Dr. Carafa. Ms. Capisi for the second. Any discussion? All those in favor? 502. All the votes will be with 2 absentees. Number 6 on the agenda, questions and comments on tonight's agenda only. Does anyone in the audience have any questions concerning the agenda only? 7 is the consent agenda. Do any members have any items that they'd like to have removed from the consent agenda? With that, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda in total. Ms. Capisi with the motion, I will second. Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. Number 8 on the agenda, policies. There are none on the agenda tonight. Number 9, committee reports. We'll push to our next meeting due to the absentee of a few members tonight, with the absence of a few members. Discussion matters, there are none. New business. Do any board members have new business that they'd like to be heard on? Anyone? Mr. Scrito?
Once again, I want to thank all the principals for coming tonight. I want to remind everybody to check their closets, because I believe Saturday at the high school, we're having a used clothing collection. If you want to pack the truck, it'll be from 9 to 2. And we need to get rid of some.
Not going over
That's sure.
No, any St. John stuff, no. Get rid of stuff there. I want to, once again, once a month, I got to thank our security guards, our crossing guards, especially the nice crossing guard that presses the button, lets me go through the red light. I appreciate that. Dr. Murphy, I'm not sure if we had it, but I was out and about, and there's a lot of people looking for help. Does the high school or Mr. Whitehurst have an answer to this? Do we have a job czar or something that students could go to? For example, Carvel is hiring right now. Relish is changing to an Italian restaurant they're hiring. Do we have something in the high school, or maybe our guidance counselor has something? I have it. I don't know if there is something. If not, can we create something that students know about?
You're talking like a placement office?
Not even placement, just like, hey, I want a job. I could go down to the guidance counselor and get a list of some opportunities. And then these places would also have a place to get help.
Yes.
Whitehorse?
Thank you. Thanks for the question. Actually, so the answer is yes. First of all, the guidance counselors are always a primary source. They know everything, and we have an incredible team. So they're always a great resource if students ever want opportunities or need some kind of guidance on where to go. But we do have a career center in the high school. The room number is 351. It's right upstairs. It's across from the library. It's staffed most periods. We have a person there who sends out and posts not career opportunities, but job opportunities on a board, and is always making announcements to the staff to share, and puts on the morning announcements opportunities for students as well.
How do businesses, Mr. Whitehurst, know that that is available to them? Opening up Italian signs out, spoke to the owners of the Cardinals Mexico, who've been there for many years. You just can't find help. So I'm getting America back to working. I mean, can we get, how do those people know?
Yeah, so, well, a few different ways. Some of them come and they introduce themselves to us, they give us flyers. Sometimes I meet them, one of our assistant principals meet them. One of our direct connections also is Mrs. Gordon. So I could find out more about maybe how the connection between the Career Center.
I'm happy to help these businesses.
Yeah, we've done it before. We've had, I'm thinking when Moe's opened up in one of my first years, I had the flyers in my office, and when kids came in, I let them take it, especially if there were students I knew looking for a job. So when we have them, we give them out freely, especially in the counseling center.
I think if we just re-energize it again, David, it's a lot of, people need help.
Absolutely. And I'll talk with Mrs. Gordon more to kind of give you more information about how we give that information out, because I'm sure there's more to it than I'm sharing now. But it'll be good to re-energize that for sure.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Any other new business from any board members? Any new business from administration? Questions or comments from the community concerning anything related to the district whatsoever? With that, I will take a motion, to adjourn. Our business is concluded concerning executive session, so there'll be no executive session tonight. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, November 15th, 2022. I'll make a motion for an adjournment. Dr. Pratt, seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 5-0, we are adjourned. God bless America.